Hey YouTube, it's this time again. We are ranking all the Gen 4 Pokemon for a Nuzlocke. Alright, we're gonna go all of them because it's a smaller generation. I think it's gonna be interesting. Also, know that we are ranking them for a vanilla Nuzlocke of Diamond Pearl or Platinum. Alright, we're gonna do it under 10 minutes. Let's go. Third Twig, I think is very interesting. I think it's pretty good. Grottle is also pretty good, and Torterra, I'm not sure he is amazing. Let's go with top of pretty good. Chimchar has low defense, and I think that is a big problem, but it's very fast, so we'll do pretty good. Monferno, the problem with Monferno is it's not bulky enough for that stage of the game, and now it starts, being kind of problematic. You don't have that many options, so you got to be very careful. It's not bad by any mean, but you know what? You got to be very careful. But when it comes to Infernape, now it's amazing. All of a sudden, it has low defense. You got to be careful, but you have so many options. You can rotate easily, you can set up, and you can very much clear the game. So it's super strong. Piplup is probably the best starter, I would say. The second gym is grass, so you got to be careful. But I think it's gonna be top of pretty good. Piplup is also pretty good, and the steel type on, I forget his name, super strong. Water is extremely OP. I think it's one of the best type in the game, but it has quite a few weaknesses. But when you pair it with steel type, now all of a sudden you have something very interesting, super strong. It's almost OP, but it's not. Early game bird, they are pretty good and amazing. Reason is intimidate, broken. Yeah, sure. HM slave, that one's average. Trash. Alright, I know a lot of people love the Luxio line, all of them. Luxray. I don't, personally. In Platinum, there's a fight against, in the Distortion world, where your opponent has a Gyarados with Earthquake. And a lot of people would bring a Luxray thinking, oh, but you know what? Gyarados is 4 times weak to electricity. Lightning, but then you get KO'd. I think that this one's, because it has Intimidate, it's pretty good, but it's not that great. That thing is pretty bad. So there should be Roselia. Roselia's not here. Roserade is kind of amazing. Rampardos is average. Yeah, this one's average too. Yep, all of them are pretty much trash. The moth, I think it's pretty bad. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. And that thing is, let's say, average. Defend order is not bad. Attack order is not bad. Couple good moves, but it just doesn't have the stats. Pachirizu's pretty bad. This thing is average. That thing is fast. Quite good physical attack. Has access to Swift Swim as an ability, and Aqua Jet. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah. Let's have some fun. That thing is average in terms of stats, but the evolution is actually pretty good. Ambipom. Surprisingly, I think that's pretty good. It's probably mid pretty good. I think it's good. The balloon. This one's pretty bad. This one's average. So you have as an ability, you have what's it called? Aftermath. But like in a Nuzlocke, don't really want to use it unless you don't have a choice. And yeah, this is not good. This, I mean, don't want to use it in your Nuzlocke. It's not that bad, I guess. I'd say it's average. Miss Magius is pretty good. Punch Crow's pretty good. That's pretty bad, and that is average. That is terrible. That's pretty bad. That's average. That is average, but that is pretty good, I would say. And the reason is why that's pretty good. Steel type is very good. Extremely good defenses, good supporting type, good supporting moves. Very easy to place in a team, and it has a lot of usefulness. So yeah, it's pretty good. Bonsley is trash. That thing is trash. And this is trash. Chatot is pretty bad. Spiritomb, back in the days, had no weaknesses. Now it has one. Fairy type. I think it's top of average. The problem with this thing, with Spiritomb, is what are you gonna do in terms of being offensive? You've got Sucker Punch, but then what? Then what? This is, let's be honest, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that thing is OP. Munchlax as Munchlax, not very impressive. Also extremely tough to get. You've got to play with the honey, and then it's it's not worth it. Riolu is very fun, but not good. And Lucario though is amazing actually. That thing. So in Nuzlocke, you very much have to be careful with sand. You can easily KO one of your Pokemon, so you know it has to be average. If you have the right team, and if you build around Sandstream, with maybe you have a guard jump, then you know what? Then it could be pretty good, or nah, top of pretty good maybe. But considering it's in Nuzlocke, you don't really have that much control on your encounter. Yeah, it's average. That thing's pretty bad, and this is average, but can be interesting. Drapion can be very interesting. Toxicroak is pretty bad. Yeah, average, I would say too. That is pretty bad. Fleon is trash. Luminion is average, just because water type is just a good type. Baby Pokemon, they're useless. You know, we're not taking into consideration their evolutions. We're just seeing them as they are. Snover suffers the same problem, you know, with the ice and sand. Back in the days being very similar. Nowadays, snow is completely different. Doesn't deal damage. Increases defense by 50% for ice type, so you know it works differently. But back in the days, back in Gen 4, it would deal damage, and it's not as good. Weavile is, you gotta be careful with it, but it can be pretty good. Magnezone actually, Steel type is very good defensively. It has a weakness to fire, but when you look at all the fire types, you've got the starter and Magmortar and Idra, right? There's not enough fire types to be worried about, so you can just kind of run a steel type. This is average. This is surprisingly average, but ground is not bad as a type. Grass I like. It's still average. Electivire and Magmortar, they're gonna be pretty good. And you know, they've got decent stats. They've got good enough move sets. Fire is super uncommon. So, you know, any fire types that you can get your hands on probably is worth it. Especially if you haven't started with Chimchar. So it gets like a bonus for being a fire type. But Electivire is just decent enough. Togekiss actually extremely amazing. Well, Yanmega is average. Leafeon and Glaceon. So physical grass is not good enough. It's just not good enough. Not enough of a moveset. Glaceon though is interesting. I'd say it's much better, but they're still in the same category. Gliscor, alright, that thing is amazing. If you can get Poison Eel, whoo, I don't know if you can. It might be a Dream World ability. Maybe it's just in Gen 5, but if, you know, it's still super strong. Poison, underrated offensive type, in my opinion. It's very good. Mamoswine, that thing's good. How good is it? Looks very good. Porygon 2, Angelade, and Probopass. Let's do all of them. So none of them is bad. That thing has to be about here. It's super strong defensively, but not as good as Bronzor. Maybe it's average even. It's a support one. So if you want to use it to support, yeah, that makes sense. Galade is actually amazing. And Porygon 2 is top of pretty good, I would say. Dusknoir is actually average. I would say maybe top of pretty bad. It's super hard to obtain, and when you get it, it has, you know, a very low HP stats. Got interesting stuff going on. If you can take advantage of the sleep status, but you know, most likely you're not. So yeah. Yeah, that's, you know, if you got Ale Synergy, that might be good, but otherwise it's average. Rotom, as is, would be pretty bad. And then legendaries, we're not going to do them. That thing's trash. That thing's pretty good. Yeah, average. All right, let's do legendaries. So of course, all of them would be amazing just because they're legendaries. They have decent stats, but all of them shares the same typing. So it's like you kind of have to choose one of them. I would suggest you choose the one with the best nature. Just look at the nature at the IVs and pick one. They have similar stat, a little bit of a difference, but you can adjust. Yeah. These two are absolutely OP. Heatran, you can't really have it during your play, during regular playthrough, because it's obtainable after the elite. So yeah, you're not gonna get it. Let's not even rank it. Arceus, you can have it. All of them, I don't think you can get before you finish the elites. Regigigas, can you catch it before the elites? I don't think so. And Giratina, you can get it in the Distortion world. So it would be OP. And there we have it. Is there any modification we could do? I don't think so. I feel like that list is pretty accurate, actually. Male Combi would be trash. Female Combi would be pretty bad. Gets a bonus because you can evolve it into FS Pikmin. But realistically, it's probably trash. Yep, that's it for the list. Next one. Hey, the next one is Gen 5. I'm super hyped about Gen 5. I love Gen 5. One of the best generation. It was like kind of a new start for the franchise. So stay tuned for Gen 5. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And see you again in the future. All right, bye-bye.